Motherfucker.
Like, come on, TJ. I thought you knew how this system works already.
Hey, I'm trying. I know it's not our normal night, but we are here tonight because of some tragic events that occurred in the central Illinois area over the weekend. I am TJ with Steve and Adam, and we're having a little bit of a reflective evening. The Mayhem's Amigos are together for you guys to talk about these events, your opinions, your feelings, and we're going to discuss a little bit of what the ramifications could turn into from this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the main one that I want to start with, and this one is actually very tragic. It hits very close to home for everybody, and that is yesterday afternoon on Monday, April 26th, or April 28th. I'm sorry. A driver was driving an SUV who ended up going through a field and then drove into an after-school camp, killing 4 girls.
And
Police are
injuring
saying-
6.
and injuring 6 more. Police are saying that this does not appear to have been a targeted drive through the Why Not After School Camp building in Chatham. The initial occurrence that was 7-year-old Alma Booner-Kemp, 7-year-old Catherine Corley, 8-year-old Ainsley Johnson, and 18-year-old Riley Britton. They passed of multiple blunt force trauma injuries, according to the Sangamon County coroner. Alma's mom said in a statement that her daughter was a ray of sunshine and was quoted as saying that she was sweet, outgoing, silly, funny, loved her friends and family. Her brother has autism, and she loved and supported him as much as she could as a big sister. That was at 7 years old. Loved to travel and had actually made it in her 7-year lifetime to 17 different states.
Wow. It's a lot more than some of us have into our 40s or older.
6 other children were injured and taken to local hospitals. 1 remains in critical condition at this time. The driver was 44-year-old Marianne Akers of Chatham. She is currently not in custody, and the cause of the crash is under investigation by the Illinois State Police at this time.
From the sources I've read, TJ, alcohol does not seem to be involved in this incident. But like you said, they are still investigating. That's why Ms. Akers hasn't been arrested.
Correct.
They just haven't determined it to be a crime, I guess.
This is going to go in a few different directions. The obvious first reaction was drugs or alcohol or a targeted incident.
Yeah.
And which is why this went so major headline, because everybody thought targeted incident right out of the get. If this turns out to be a medical cause, it is going to probably hinder Ms. Akers for a while.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that. Like, she will not be guilty. unless this was a pre-existing condition that she knew could have affected her driving.
Yeah.
But then it would be a reduced charge. Drugs or alcohol, we're talking mass homicide.
Yeah.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was quoted today as well, saying our community lost a group of bright and innocent young people with their whole lives ahead of them. Parents said goodbye to their kids this morning, not knowing it would be the last time. He said, my heart is heavy for these families and the unimaginable grief they are experiencing, something that no parent should ever have to endure.
Yeah. Now, from what I'm reading, according to the Associated Press, the founder of the after school care Why Not Outdoors,
Yes.
her name's Jamie Loftus, and she said the security camera footage showed a vehicle left the road a substantial distance away and sped across the field toward the building. So this young lady was off the road for seemingly quite a while
Right.
before coming into contact with this building.
78 acres.
And Steve and I both grew up in farm country.
So did I.
70 acres is not small.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Steve would do great mowing 70 acres and turning it into a golf course.
Oh, you need about 160 for 18 hole.
So 9 hole.
Okay.
So,
70,
all right, so let's see. 9 holes with like 4 par 3s in it.
okay.
Think that would fit in 70 acres?
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives you an idea for people who are golfers. You're talking about the size of a 9-hole golf course.
Yeah.
Was the room that she had?
Yeah. That's the whole situation. I followed every post imaginable. Okay. She's left the roadway.
Right.
She traveled 78 acres through a field, back onto the roadway, through a parking lot, in the west side of the building, through the building, and out the east side of the building, and didn't stop until she ran into the fence. Okay. But they showed her in handcuffs right afterwards. I mean, I'm sorry, if it was a medical thing, that's a long ways. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe, hey, why couldn't the throttle have stuck on the Jeep? And she was trying to get it slowed down. I mean,
it very well could have been. That's why it's all up for investigation.
Yeah. Because I know people were saying, boy, if that field would have just been wetter, it'd slowed her way down. Or she got stuck.
Yeah.
But the field wasn't wet enough. And she put right through it. That's what Jeeps are supposed to do. They're supposed to go four-wheeling. Wonder if she put it in four-wheel drive. I bet she didn't.
So, I mean, that's not. Here's the thing that I was telling Steve earlier. That is not the only thing that happened in Central Illinois this weekend.
Yeah.
We also have my alma mater dealing with a problem as well. Just before 8 p.m. on April 27th, Illinois State University officials issued an emergency alert warning students, staff, and local residents about shots being fired on or near the university campus. Turned out it was in the Bone Student Center.
Yeah.
The victim, a non-student, sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to a local hospital in Bloomington. Police are searching for the person of interest, described as a slender African-American male, about 5'10", with a black afro, wearing all black clothing. And this was during a student organization event.
And wasn't like one of the events like a sorority gathering?
I
think it's
believe
what
one
Julie
of them
told
was.
me.
That was one of the activities going on.
So the ISU Police Department, Normal Police Department, Bloomington Police Department, McLean County Sheriff's Department, and the Illinois State Police are all now looking at this and trying to figure out what happened here. No shelter in places in order has been ordered at ISU at this time. So this one actually hits the school shooting database.
Yeah.
But as far as Central Illinois goes, but wait, there's more. We also had a report. I had a report earlier today of a double homicide that happened over the weekend in South Pekin as well.
Hey, that's close to 420.
Yeah.
Many people wonder why I don't go anywhere. This is exactly why I don't go anywhere. Fucking, you never know. You don't. Every time you leave the house, you don't know what's going to fucking happen next.
Well, I mean, in regards to the Chatham incident, and let's face it, all the parents who sent kids there,
Yeah.
they didn't do anything wrong to cause it,
No.
and couldn't have done anything to prevent it. The school
I didn't know that.
for the program couldn't have done anything to prevent it.
No.
It was just a normal day before.
No, it's not an area where you
the
take a
program
vehicle and
became
go
a
through a building.
drive-through.
You don't.
So,
vehicles don't go through buildings. They hit them, but they usually don't go through them.
No, they usually don't.
Yeah.
21-year-old Memphis Rue is being held at the Tazewell County Justice Center right now, accused of a double homicide in South Pekin last week. And he is waiting to undergo a mental health exam to see if he is mentally fit for trial. He is currently charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And there was no mention in court today on whether the defense will contest the prosecution's motion to keep Rue in jail before his trial. He is charged for the shooting deaths of Dawson Reese and Chase Rhodes at a South Pekin home. Both were 21 and found dead in the basement.
Wow.
So, I go over these stories and I bring them up. And I especially I'm looking at, even though I no longer live there, Central Illinois is still a part of who I am. It is still a part of me. Okay. So when I look at that.
Well, your son is still in Central Illinois.
I still have family in Central Illinois. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
There is a lot that's there that I kind of line out. And I'm like, okay, let's look at this for a second here. We have a woman who takes off in her SUV over 70 acres to blow through a building. Law enforcement is not giving us a direct answer yet as to whether foul play was involved or not. We have a shooting which basically looks like a drug deal that went to shit at ISU.
Yeah.
And then we have a 21-year-old that's capped 2 of his buddies and left him in the basement.
I'm feeling that might be a drug deal going bad too.
Well, it was South Pekin, so there's a good chance that was at a meth lab.
Yeah.
And somebody's basement. Yep.
So that Dixie Crystal got him.
Yep.
But when I break this down, I spell it out, I look at it, okay? All of this. And let's be very perfectly honest about it, everybody. It's all within a 100-mile radius.
Mhm.
Normal, South Pekin, Chatham. You're within 100 miles of every town.
Yeah.
And when you look at that and you see it and you think about it, the one that stands out is the SUV.
Yeah.
Because the other two is going to be immediately, we need more gun control. No, we need more stupidity control.
Yeah.
Even Steve will tell you the reason that he'll shit his pants is because he's high and lazy and does not want to go to the toilet.
Yep.
There you go. That's not being stupid, it's being honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam will tell you that he goes through a bottle of Jergens a week.
Ooh.
No, I don't.
Damn.
Nope.
Or he did with his ex-wife.
That's a little bit more closer to the truth.
We have, when you look at this and you think about it, the SUV driver, she's not going to, she didn't break out a gun. What are they going to do now? We need more car control.
Yeah.
All right, that going to be the next one? They're going to start, they're going to go from there to go, we need more masturbation control. Why do we need that? Because you shot yourself in the eye.
No, you just need better aim. Unless that's what you were going for.
Well, I'm not trying to hit my TV.
Yeah.
It takes a while to clean the TV off if you hit it.
Yeah.
But no, the fact is, we have this tragic event that happened in Chatham. We have a shooting that went bad at ISU, and then we have a double homicide in South Pekin.
Yeah.
And here's the scary part. It's either early evening or still daylight.
Yeah.
I hope that we see out of our judicial system with this discretion, reason, integrity. And I want to know what happened to our society.
Yeah.
If we're going to be very,
being that these shootings are becoming more and more
yes,
regular, I'd even go as far as to say normal. And I hate saying that.
but honest. I mean, you turn on the news on the TV today. We had a shooting.
Yeah.
And then, we're like 10 years ago, oh my God, there was a shooting.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, another one? Fuck off. Give me the sports scores.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We've gotten there as a society. And Corey may be right, end of days. I don't know. I always thought if the end of days were actually going to happen, that, I would see Steve become president of the United States with 18,000 hookers.
Oh.
But I'm hard-pressed and hard-stretched to believe that. I'm very hard-pressed to believe the end of days. I do believe we're in for a shift. There's got to be something coming. I could see, if you watch your history and you look at it, you see the historic, you pay attention to the way history works. We get our ups, we get our downs in all sorts of times. If you look at the 60s, the race riots, and everything that happened with the civil rights movement, that was a very low time. There was a lot of good that came out of it, but it was a low time.
Yeah.
And right now with these mass shootings and with these accidents and things like this happening, how? Why? Corey, please feel free to put the donation link in the chat room for anybody that wants to donate. And for those that are in Central Illinois, Corey, if you could please.
There is a GoFundMe, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please put the GoFundMe in there. And please also give some different locations for, different blood banks so people can donate.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is a big one that Chatham needs right now. If you can, please donate.
From what I understand, this incident in Chatham pretty much emptied out local blood banks.
Yeah.
So if you can, please do. Blood banks are important, not just for this incident in Chatham, but just in general. And all it does is helps people. You can't go wrong there.
I see Mike said there he's like Gulfport's 40 minutes away. You've got teenagers and adults shooting it out and killing each other every day there. That's Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I personally feel rather blessed for where I'm at because I'm not in the city. I'm far enough out that these things do not happen in my community that I live in here in Central Texas. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ty. We're talking about the different stuff that's been going on up there. This tragedy in Chatham and how horrible that was. The shooting at ISU, the double homicide in South Pekin, and just kind of talking about the ramifications of it. And of course, by all, again, please hit the GoFundMe go to the GoFundMe for Chatham, donate some money if you can. Go donate blood, do something, help that town out.
Yeah.
That is a small community that any of us who have ever been through there, spent any time there, this is not something that you would expect to happen in the city of Chatham.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I would not even expect to see anybody creeping by in a truck in Chatham.
I don't know about that. Steve?
Checking out like the college softball team or the high school softball teams just creeping and staring with chicken or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Corey says that it's the Glenwood Student Council that has a GoFundMe account. I did hear that it was so amazing. I was actually very touched. They have raised the number, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the number that they raised was over $30,000 in 18 hours.
No, they've already raised over $100,000. I checked it.
Oh, it is up that far now.
Yeah, it's over $100,000 now.
And that's currently at a little over 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now, see, I would like that this event gets remembered for how we came together. Not necessarily that we forget who was lost or injured, but to see the resiliency from it.
Yeah, Corey says that the GoFundMe now currently is at over $129,000.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's think about that. In 18 hours, it got up to like 30,000, 33,000, something like that.
Now it's over 129.
So now it has increased by over 100,000 more.
Now Ty says that he believes that he knows the father of the boy who shot the other two boys in South Pekin, the one that's up on murder charges. Like I said, I said earlier, the driver of the car in Chatham, my gut tells me I know her. I don't know how I know her, but I do know her somehow. No, Steve, I'm sure carnal knowledge was not involved.
Huh?
But I think I met her back in my 20s.
And St. TJ wasn't doing anything like that.
No, I would never do anything like that.
No, back then, TJ, the only thing St. TJ was laying was brick. Wasn't even laying pipe, just brick.
Steve's giving me that look like, you motherfucking lying sack of shit. Don't believe everything Rage said. Especially when he was talking about my sex life. No, Corey, where I feel like I'm, look, I got a cousin that is a teacher. And I really feel like I met her through that particular cousin. And trust me, that particular cousin was Miss Goody Goody all the way through. I love my cousin to death. I still talk to her, but goody, 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 goody. I don't think she even knows how to properly use the word fuck. That's how goody goody that cousin is. And I really feel like that's where, if I didn't meet her there, then I met her at church with my grandma or something, I mean, I know I've met her.
Say, do you think your cousin's one of those people who replaces fuck with like frickin' or frackin' or something like that?
I know for a fact she is.
Okay.
I don't know what the fudge you're talking about. I didn't say I was talking about fudge. I was talking about fucking.
Mm.
And then she looked at me like I was the devil. I don't know why.
What the freaking heck?
Dude, she said that one. I was hooking up my camper one year, getting everything set up to be there for our reunion for the weekend, right? And my awning slipped and just pinched my hand. And I mean, it like the slide came down, it slipped and pinched my hand in the slide, so I got it released. Dude, I could have made a sailor blush with what was coming out of my mouth. That hurt. Yeah. And my cousin was standing there like, oh, you should go to confession. I should fucking what? God knows what I said. He put it in my head before it came out of my mouth. What do you do, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, like I said, I didn't, and I was telling Adam when they said the name, I'm like, I know her. No, if she was party girl, I can tell you everything about her.
It's a school.
But I'm like, I know her. Did you say she works at a school?
Yeah, she works in the food. If that's worked somewhere in the food.
Yeah, she's like a cafeteria worker at one of the Ball Chatham schools.
Okay.
Short for school system.
Look, granted, I went out and I had a good day at work and I busted my ass today and everything went pretty smooth. But above and beyond that, this has been reeling in the back of my mind all day. And yes, Ty, I do believe he is still suffering from his loss at Smoker Mania.
Well, last we knew, he was laying on the floor. He got up to go to a dirt track race and then went home and laid right back down.
I kind of getting back to point. Now, my biggest concern is pretty much what Adam said. Like, I think back and I remember 9/11. And that's where my mind really goes right away is 9/11. And when we discuss that, whenever we have discussed that on a serious note, and Steve could back this up because he was sitting there when I did bring this up to Ray, and we discussed it very in depth, and it was before the incident. It was like everybody's attacking everybody else. The world's coming, up. No, this one made this shit decision, and that one did that, blah, 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 blah. And it was just, you didn't know which way was up. Was it as bad as today? No, but it was getting there. Then the plane hit the North Tower. And that was the one that was televised.
Yeah.
And we sat there and we watched this. And it was like the world stopped.
It did.
Most people can remember where they were at when that happened.
Huh?
Yeah, I went from a radio station back to a salad suit and into an armory. I'll never forget that day. But so vivid, okay? Everything stopped. And then you go to later that day. There was President Bush. We will not stumble. We will not falter. We will not fail. Remember that speech?
Yeah.
He left an appearance with kids, got on Air Force One, got back to D.C., made the speech. Next day, he's in front of a joint session of Congress, getting the go-ahead for Operation Enduring Freedom, getting the go-ahead for the Department of Homeland Security, getting the go-ahead for everything that went into place. Think about it.
Yeah.
That was all right. When we would see people off on a plane in the 80s and 90s, did we have to stop at TSA?
Oh, hell no.
Where did we see them off? It was all the way up to the gate, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I flew right into fucking, what's that one there in Newark, New Jersey? I flew into there. Went to visit my mom in New York. And we didn't even fucking, there wasn't no TSA, you just went.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. It's little things like that. Like, that was overnight. There it was. We got very security conscious.
Yep.
But in that 24-hour period, I saw a tumultuous joint session of Congress unanimously give the President of the United States, whom half of them agreed with and half of them did not, the go-ahead to retaliate for that attack on our soil.
Yeah.
I watched an entire nation stand up and say, we will not lay down. We are coming to find you, and we are going to give you a lead enema. And this country just that fast came together.
Yeah, do you guys remember the patriotism following that?
Oh, my God.
I mean, there hasn't been anything like that for a very long time.
You did not dare damage an American flag after that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much that when I think about it, I would love to see these 3 incidents have the positive effect of pulling the state of Illinois back together and coming up with viable solutions for problems that are there that will work without killing the residents.
Well, JB might be able to do it. I saw somewhere where he's considering running for president in 28.
In 28?
Yeah.
He has a very, very large uphill battle.
Huh?
I have to be honest. The only thing that
He's
I
done
have
that
seen,
many.
the only thing I've seen JB do that I really agree with was the marijuana being legalized in Illinois. It is a revenue maker.
Yeah. It's making, yeah. It just, oh, yeah.
But otherwise, I've seen him eat a turkey. I really...
We talked about his golden toilets.
Yeah, I've seen him rip out toilets to save money on his taxes.
Yep.
18 bathroom mansion, not one of them you can shit in.
Well, so, you know, when I was in New York, I had to take a shit and went in front of Trump Towers and they wouldn't let me in. I wanted to take a dump in Trump.
Even back then.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was back in the 90s. Before he was even thought about being president.
But you know what I'm saying? I would love to see where the state pulls together and says, no, you know what? We've had a rough time. We're going to come out of this. We've lost a lot. Now it's time to get it back. And I don't know if Illinois has it in it. I really don't know if the strength is there anymore.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I hope it is.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice, but I mean, as is, you have a bunch of counties down south that would rather be part of Indiana than stay in Illinois. And Indiana has already approved that they're okay with that.
I wonder how good it would be if the Cubs moved out of Chicago and then Chicago became its own state and Steve would have to be a Cub fan.
That would never happen. I'd rather root for the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates before I root for the fucking Cubs.
Ouch.
Ouch. I mean, you know, I do love my Cubs.
I'm glad you can count the championships on one finger.
3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. We ran out of fingers. We had to add another hand because we have a over 11 in it.
Yeah, but you know what? The Cardinals
We're
are
putting
such
them on
a
our toes.
bandwagon team.
I know you're always going to have that rivalry, but you know who nobody roots for? The White Sox.
They're going to leave Chicago.
White Sox are currently dead last in the American League Central at 7 wins and 21 losses.
Yep. So I think everyone can agree on that.
And you didn't have to pay for tickets. You just people like my brother has tickets to White Sox games all the time. He worked for Kroger. If I could give them to him, like here, you want these? Nobody else wants them.
You go to a White Sox game, they give you $20. They give you a hot dog, a beer, and tickets to another sporting event.
Cubs are currently first in the NL Central.
Cool.
The only ones the Cardinals are beating in the NL Central happen to be the Pirates.
Well, he's beating the Pirates. The season just started.
I know.
We got 365,000 games to play.
That's a lot of fucking baseball.
Yep.
It seems like they play that many fucking games. God damn.
No, I'll just
Cubs are currently up 4-0 on the Pirates, so that's great news.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm looking forward to when the Cubs beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, because that only happens once in a blue moon. So.
You know what the downside is, though, for Steve? Steve roots for the same team as some other people I know that I'm not going to say their names because that might make Steve angry.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Whether they're winning or losing, Corey, I don't care. I'm a Cub fan. I was a Cub fan when they really sucked. I remember that fucking 14 and 140 year. Like, what the fuck? Like, every time I turned around, it was another loss. It was horrible. The Cubs didn't even break 300 that year. It was that bad. I mean, if we're over 500 and having a decent season, I'm happy with that. Granted, I love when the Cubs get in there and they win the World Series. I mean, that's a party. And I think we're overdue.
Yeah.
I think we need another one. But no, I am one, Ray is another one. I'm one of the few people that did not bandwagon. I have been a Cubs fan my whole life.
Huh? I have been a Cardinal fan my whole life. I don't think. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I play MLB, and I'm not the Cardinals in MLB, but that's because they were already taken. But I'm still good teams, but I ain't worth the shit. I'm in last in all three of my fucking leagues. I'm the Phillies in one, and the Angels in another, the Dodgers in another, but I'm still dead last.
The Dodgers are a tough team.
Yeah, they got a good team.
I mean, they're a tough team. You can't really argue that.
Especially when they have Ohtani pitching. And motherfucker, he threw the ball. He hit the ball, son of a bitch.
So, I don't know. What do you think the ramifications are going to be from the events that have happened? And where do you think we're going to be at afterwards?
Well, I mean, I've been questioning, like, on Miss Akers' car, she had a military plate. I'm wondering if that's going to cause any drama toward other military or veterans.
It's possible.
If that's going to cause any static.
I need to blow my nose, but I am listening.
I mean, what is they going to do? Are veterans going to have to clear, get medical clearances and psychological clearances in order to keep their driver's licenses? I mean, I know it's kind of far-fetched, but we've heard of stranger things.
Well, I'll say one thing about the driver's license system in Illinois. is it sucks because they just let these old people. I'm sorry. I know my mom is one of them. She's old, and she cannot fucking see, but they still let her keep her driver's license.
Yeah.
You know, she has no peripheral vision at fucking all. Yeah. No, you shouldn't give her driver's license. You should say, ma'am, no, you're not going to get it. But no, they go ahead. Okay, is that what they did? Oh, you go ahead and put your glasses on if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Illinois is trying to make it easier for the elderly to get their driver's licenses.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd rather them go to yearly testing.
Yeah. Driving
But,
test.
yep.
So my mom's that old lady driver. She's heavy on the gas and heavy on the brake. God damn, huh? Mom, how fast you going? Oh, I'm not going to go to this apartment. We're going 95 miles an hour. What the fuck? What are you doing, mother? Oh, make a good time. Yeah, we
See,
will.
both my grandpas had a different way about them towards the end. Like my grandpa Gene, he drove around Springfield like I've been paying taxes in this city for 70 years. Fuck everybody, and he went where he wanted. No signal, no nothing. Across 4 lanes of traffic. Yeah, here we go. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Like you just cut off a fucking trolley car. I don't care. They should get out of my way. I pay taxes. God damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure that's how that actually works, but
Yeah. Now, my grandpa Jim, the one that just passed recently, different animal. We come around the exit ramp, getting ready to head to Pootie's. We're up on 71. Well, we got to get past these slow asses. Holy shit, rocked back in the seat in this Buick Enclave. We are from 30 to 90 that fast. And he's got it straight dead down the road.
That's my mom's got an Enclave. I'm going to inherit when she died. It's a brand new fucking motor.
He hated that Enclave.
I'll say that you're happy with this one, but it has a new motor in it now. So,
well, but he hated it. And I think it was just the drive-by-wire. It wasn't your standard steering. It was a drive-by-wire setup.
Oh,
He hated it because it was so responsive.
Yeah.
I don't know, TJ, back to the subject at hand. Do you think that veterans are going to catch any flack over this one event just because of the license plate?
I really believe it's going to come back to, is it her husband's car or boyfriend's, or is it hers? And we got to know ownership of the car.
Yeah.
So if it is not her car, then I think that there's a good chance it will come back, and it will hit I do believe it'll come back and it'll hit veterans, because if you think about it, veterans are, you guys don't realize it, but we are targeted a lot.
You know what I mean? That's why I brought it up to you. It's like, you're going to know better than I am. I was never able to serve due to medical reasons.
Right.
So it's just, what type of flack do you think they may catch?
Every time something happens and it turns out to be a veterans involved, we start seeing more restrictions.
Yeah.
On things that we're allowed to do.
It's like I said while you stepped away, Are they going to start requiring like a psychological check for you to keep your driver's license if you're a veteran?
They could.
I mean, or medical check. Like, are you going to have to get a physical before getting your driver's license re-upped?
They could.
Huh. See now,
It's
now you got me on. See that's but when I'm not podcasting, I'm usually sitting there watch videos of what they call reaction videos, where people react to different music videos. I don't know if either one of you seen it, but I don't know if you've ever seen the Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven.
yeah.
I've watched people. I've watched everything from therapists to a veteran watch it. And some couple of the veteran dudes. I mean, one dude is like, "Dude, that's not how it happened." If that really went off that way, he would have been blown to bits. And then some of them are like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly how it happened." And I don't know, man. I don't know. I know, but I know. I feel for you guys. You fucking have to come back and fucked up, man. And nobody fucking gives a shit.
And that's the way it's. That's the way it is. Unfortunately.
You know, I've always been of the opinion that these veterans who are coming back, or just veterans in general, they should have like some of the best medical and psychological care offered in the country.
And I think when I was going with that, at the end of that video, the dude that lost all of his friends went back and re-enlisted again. They sent him back, and then people said, "No, that he shouldn't do that. It's probably not good for him to do that because what he was going through when he got sent home because his three friends were killed in an IED. He wasn't, and then he turned around. He couldn't take it out in the real world, so he re-enlisted back into the whatever. And people dude's like, "Nah, I don't think we put him back out there. He's
right."
And I see that, man.
I have seen where it comes back on the veterans a lot. And I've even had a friend of mine make fun of me for serving.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to tell me that him and another friend of mine that did not serve, they were in there actually, and they did better than I did. And I'm like, dude, I'm really proud of my time, even though I don't talk about it. Are you racking your brain a little bit, Steve?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, my brain's not working. My brain's not working at all.
Oh, okay. I've seen a lot of stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
And if it was ever, if they say there's a veteran involved, comes back at us. And we always see more restrictions.
Oh yeah.
And that's the hard part.
I'll tell you about my mom. Oh, God, she was the worst.
And I don't know. I don't know why. because the veterans of the country, whether they were drafted, which there are very few of those left,
Right.
the majority of us are volunteer now,
Mhm.
but we all wanted to keep our freedom and give it,
Oh yeah.
pay that price. I but ever since I got out, the most common question. Do you know what the most common question I get is, Steve?
Let's see. Most common question.
Most
Would you
common
go
question.
back? Would you go
That's
back?
not it. That's not the most common question.
Did you enjoy it?
That's not it either.
Huh.
Most common question I'm asked. Did you kill somebody?
Oh man. Well, I don't.
Would I go back? Yes. Do I miss it? Every day.
Wow.
Did I enjoy it? In a lot of aspects, yes. Some of the places I went, some of the aspects, no. But it made for the experience.
Right.
That experience made me a lot of who I am today. I am an advocate for veterans' rights. I do stand on that front line and fight that all the time. And I'll tell you what, we are undercut by Congress almost every day.
Mhm.
I was thinking while I had to step away. I hate seeing that a lot of this is taken out on the veterans itself, or themselves. Why not look at the system that supports these veterans when they come back and try and optimize that to give more support, whether it's psychological or, physical, whatever is needed to try and give as best case of a scenario as you can to these people who just went and protected and fought for our freedoms.
Right.
But now the person who got that freedom has the freedom to hate the soldier who fought for that freedom.
Because this country does not want to take responsibility for what they create to defend it. Well, let me repeat that.
Okay.
This country's general public and political leadership do not want to take responsibility for what they had to create to defend the country. The VA does everything they can.
Yeah, I know they're massively under budgeted and
Yes.
things like that.
But
I don't know. I still think that UTJ and any other veteran that has served deserve the best care that we can offer.
Yeah.
Best care on the planet, really.
Yeah.
But all you guys do is the VA and its limited resources.
and we get former military doctors that are wore out by the system, but they do it to take care of us.
Yeah.
And like my doctor, she finally looked at my chart, looked at it real close, and then our last face-to-face appointment, she goes, "I remember you." You remember me from where? And she goes, Germany.
Oh, that was a
And
long
I,
time ago.
and I
Wasn't
said, okay, now we're digging back a little bit. And she goes, yeah, when you had the shootout at in Stuttgart. And she was talking about at the 7th Army headquarters. And I said, yeah, I still remember that one. She goes, yeah, I was one of them treating you. I was a resident
it? Oh,
that was treating you for your punctured lung.
Wow.
I was like, well, now here we both are in Texas.
Yeah.
And she goes, yep, we're both stupid.
Like, I just hate the fact that, okay, for people who don't know me, I'm disabled. I have never been able to serve in the military because I've been disabled since I was 14. Currently, I have 9 medical specialists on top of my primary care. I'm only 44.
Yeah.
I get better medical being disabled than a veteran gets. And that kind of makes my stomach hurt a bit because that's not right.
Well,
Right.
okay. I'll give you an idea. Steve, you're kind of giggling, but I think you're trying to piece it together. Am I wrong?
well, yeah. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so well, let me give you a comparison here, okay? You remember when you had the wound vac on your dirty foot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You got the wound vac. They did everything they could to get that infection out of you, right?
Oh, yeah. 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 I cut part of my foot out.
They would have amputated my knee at the VA instantly.
I asked them to, but they wouldn't fucking do it. I
Or
can feel it.
they wouldn't have done anything. They would have said, well, here's these antibiotics. Here's some Motrin for pain. Go home. Take a couple days off.
You know,
I've been lucky with the VA that I've got such great doctors.
Right.
My doctors are very caring. They are all about their patients. I've been very blessed with that. I've had 2 doctors since I've been going to the VA since 2014 that were assholes. And I got myself switched out to another doctor. But my doctors now, I just have phenomenal doctors.
you know what I mean? Even for you, I remember talking to you and they were having a hard time getting a medication in
Yes.
because they had to give it to you in the office, right?
Yeah.
And they would schedule you, and then when you got in, it's not there.
Yeah. There's like
So
3
you'd have
weeks
to
that
turn-
went.
Yeah, you would have to turn around and go home. They didn't tell you beforehand
No.
that they didn't have it. You just came in, they're like, well, we don't have it in stock. You're going to have to go home and we'll reschedule you.
It depends on the VA you're at, Ty, when you bring that up. Now, Ty says the problem with the VA is they just push pills. And I really do believe, again, that's part of your healthcare providers, and that is which VA you are at.
Oh, yeah.
The Austin VA is phenomenal. And I've got great healthcare providers. But the other problem is with the other thing is with the VA, those doctors can rotate out, and then you got to start all over, and that is tough.
Yeah.
So with that all being said, I want to say this once again. Please, if you have not donated, Chatham Strong, go to the GoFundMe account that is being run by the Glenwood Student Council, and please donate to help out Chatham in this very, very tragic time of need.
Like, really, just donate blood wherever you're at.
Yes.
But if you live in Central Illinois,
Yeah.
they need you right now.
All right, so the next part of this is, of course, Steve will be on tomorrow morning with Ray Lito's Morning Disaster.
Yes, we will be back in the morning at 8 a.m.
Unless Christina decides that she still feels sorry for Chatham, and then they'll probably skip the show tomorrow.
I won't
In
tell
which
me
case,
till
I do
tomorrow
expect.
morning.
In which case, I do expect a call from Steve right around 9 o'clock in the morning, telling me about how horrible that was, because now he just wasted more weed before he gets paid.
Exactly. I wasted a high this morning. I wasted 2 highs this week. I wasted one Monday because Rhino overslept. I ended up wasting one. Well, I couldn't. Rhino overslept. I couldn't get a hold of Fat 420 because he was still depressed because I beat the shit out of him and wrestled at Smokermania. So I said, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm going back to sleep. But there goes high. You all high today. Now, we're not doing the show today. Well, she fucking told me that last night. I wouldn't got fucking high this morning. Ah, damn. But yeah, I'll be back.
All right. And of course, we will be back Thursday night for Amigos After Dark, returning and getting about as crazy as we can.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then from there, of course, we got our Sunday show. Steve has got the rest of Morning Disaster this week. And I hope very soon.
I have weird frequencies on Sunday evening, too. So.
Yep. You have weird frequencies. Of course, you've got, if you go to iVlog, you can catch Fat 420's different shows.
Yeah.
Man, we're busy, and I'm still working on the novel. I may have some new stuff for you guys to laugh at.
Ooh.
I think I've written it in there about titties now.
Oh, everybody likes titties.
And I was descriptive.
Ooh. Milky.
The light almond colored nipples standing erect as she removed her satin top.
Ooh.
I was excited with anticipation as her left nipple poked my eye.
Oh.
Causing it to be very difficult to see out of that eye because they were pierced.
Oh. Whoa, cat.
And Steve's attacked by a pussy.
Goddamn fucking cat.
You guys have anything else to add today before we log out?
No.
Nope.
Everybody have a good day.
We pretty much already talked about it. I guess just take care of people. Try and be kind if you can. If you can't, don't be negative at all.
Just stay home.
So you're like permanent shelter in place now.
No. I like my home. And I don't see nobody coming in here and shoot me. Or he has a concrete building, I don't see a car going through the building.
I could see somebody trying to come into your place with a hammer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I worry about her lots.
Remember again, everybody, please donate to Chatham. The Glenwood Student Council is raising money. Donate blood wherever you're at if you can. Please, let's try to help each other out. Let's get out of this Let's get out of this 15-year funk that we've been in.
Yeah.
Let's get back to being a society that works for and cares about each other.
Seems to be a worthy cause, I think.
So, in the meantime, me and Adam will see you on Thursday night at 9 for Amigos After Dark. Steve will see you tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
where I hope he comes up with something disgusting and it'll make everybody laugh and try to get us back to normal.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us and tuning in on this impromptu show and kind of reflecting with us as to, that was the biggest thing I wanted to do tonight, is just reflect on where the world has gone and where our country has gone and what it'd take to come back.
Yeah.
And we'll dig into that a little bit more. So thanks again, everybody. Take care. God bless. Lord, baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus. Please allow Ray Lytle to win the Latra. Steve's like, no. Thank you again, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.